have a solution. The Whine No Whine Show, where you can be friended and offended all in the same hour, where we gather people from all different walks of life and perspectives, and we talk about everything that everyone has told you not to. Religion, politics, and everything under the sun. Nothing is off limits, and we do it all over a glass of wine. So grab a glass and join us as we save America, one civil conversation at a time.
3, 2, 1, action!
We're live now. All right, cool. Welcome everybody to the Whine No Whine Show, the Artist Edition. I'm your host, Chris Minamyer. We will be talking about trans in the sports world. We have a high school athlete who is transitioning. Excuse my wine talk there. Transitioning from female to male and wants to compete in the male side of the wrestling sport. Currently, she's whipping up in the females. They will not let her compete, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. I have a great guest panel here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves here in a second. Be sure to comment live, y'all. We're going to address the best comments. My production team's going to put them on the screen for me to read, and we're going to use those comments to direct the conversation. So be sure you comment live. You guys are just part of the show as we are. Our guest panelists range from musicians to models and artists to artists and artist representatives. So we're going to have a great show. We're going to let Waylon, you want to go ahead and do a shameless plug here?
You bet, man. My name's Waylon Henley. I'm from the Kingwood area out here, and moved here from Oklahoma about 6 years ago. And I love it down here, man. What can I say?
Where we find you?
Oh yeah, you find me, man. I got a brand new website that we just got built up, and it's outlawtothegrave.com with the number two, law. Outlaw to the grave.
All right.
And
what are we gonna find over there? Music, country music.
Yeah, you're going to find country music, you're going to find Waylon Henley music, you're going to find original music, you're going to find
fun events
tributes to my country heroes.
You got an event coming up you're going to be playing?
Tomorrow night I'll be headed to Kerrville, into the hills. It's a pretty good little trip. It's about a 4-hour ride from here.
We got viewers out that way. We got viewers from London.
Awesome.
We got them everywhere.
Australia. Yeah, I've been watching this, kind of silent mode, man. I haven't really been, commenting on a lot of things. I had a little bit, and I'm happy to be here, man.
Welcome,
it's gonna be cool.
Man. I'm happy to
cool
have
deal,
you.
Man.
You're gonna play some music live
tuned,
for
man.
us today.
We're gonna get to do some live music.
Yeah. We're gonna introduce Vera.
Hi, I'm VERA ICON. You might know me from the cosplay community, the fine art community. I debuted as a body paint artist or model for an artist during Comic Palooza, and since then it's just been a lot of fun picking a lot of manly purple-haired characters. Starting off with Sailor Mars. I'm a bit of just like a giant nerd.
Where would we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, lots of my modeling, my fine art, also my graphic design work. On Facebook, VERA space ICON. My personal page, IKON, though, is a lot of people go on there.
That's the one I have, yeah, the IKON.
Also on Instagram, VERA ICON the artist. That's the after the .com for Facebook as well as for Instagram. So.
All right. Colleen.
Hey, I'm Colleen Gugan. I'm an artist. Work as a mail carrier. As for my money, but I do art for my life. This is what it's all about: getting out there and talking to people, communicating with people, and showing them different ways to look at things. And that's what I do.
Where can we find you? On Facebook?
Pretty much. I mean, I'm on Facebook. I don't have a website at the moment. Working on getting that together.
Will you spell your name for us for Facebook?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's Colleen double L double E and Gugan Gugan with a G, and that's me.
Okay. Are you having a show coming up? Are you showing anywhere? Is there a gallery representing you, or do you have an artist representing you?
I am just a renegade. I'm out there and I'm just doing what I gotta do to get this shit
I have shows
shown.
for you. I got you. You just come to me. I put
Thank
you in
you,
a show.
Chris.
No problem.
She's a renegade outlaw,
That's
man.
right. Me too. I started throwing my own.
I built it, you will look at it.
That's right. And lastly, we have Cynthia.
Cynthia Fox, and I promote and manage bands. People may remember me from managing Chrome and Helios Creed. I'm currently managing a brand new band called Resistor, and they play their first gig in Houston next month, and I wasn't able to get the date yet from the guy that's promoting it.
She was
for
on
me.
frantic before the show.
Yeah, I tried.
Work.
And I'm
the same way.
also promoting a brand new singer-songwriter artist, and he's planning a tour around the United States this year for about 6 months. So that's pretty
That's a long
exciting.
tour, yeah, that's
I'm
a lot
getting
of
ready to
fun.
record. He's in the
How do we
studio.
find your artists?
I'm still setting everything up for him. Right now, he can be found as Don Mize, but I'm setting him all up as D Mize for his solo tour.
Oh, fun.
Awesome.
That's a
So
great
just
name.
through
Yeah,
me,
Don
send
Mize,
fox3@hotmail.com right now
yeah. Okay.
for about another month.
Great. Awesome. Look forward to seeing the updates through the tour.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for coming on today. She was kind
You're
of a
welcome.
last-minute replacement, so we're really appreciative on that one.
You're very welcome.
So again, today's topic is should somebody transitioning from male to female be able to compete in the male division? And we're gonna go through and kind of tell everybody where we stand on the subject. And we're gonna, just a quick 1 minute. Hey, this is what I think about it, and then we're gonna come back and have discussion about it. So that way, our viewers know what we all think, and we can gauge our responses. So, my producer right now. He's about to spill his wine everywhere. All right, technical difficulties, but we're doing great.
Center camera correct.
Yeah, center camera. All right, so. Hey guys, so we're gonna go with Cynthia. If you want to
Okay.
tell us how you feel about the subject and how quickly,
Sure. Okay.
briefly is not quickly.
I believe that the person that is right now transitioning should probably be able to compete as a male. I believe she's probably far enough along if she has testosterone in her system, and it just makes sense that she would probably be in that category. She'd probably be a little bit stronger than most of the girls, I'm assuming. And so it just would make much more sense. And I'm sure she would feel much more comfortable.
All right, good stance. We'll come to you, Colleen.
Okay. Well, back in, I'm not going to give my age away, but back in the 70s, when I was going to school, I was a kindergarten, grade school student, we had a hockey team, okay? But we didn't have a female hockey team.
Right.
So we had a few girls that knew how to play some good hockey.
That's right.
And they allowed the girls to play with the male team back in the 70s. So right now, talking about this seems just odd to me. I mean, I would feel...
It doesn't matter if she's transitioning or
It
not.
doesn't matter if
wants to
she's
compete.
transitioning or not. Right, exactly. That if she has the abilities and the characteristics to play the game and she knows the rules, I don't see why there should be any talk of it at all,
Right.
honestly.
Great stance on it. I'm gonna come to you, Vera. You gonna
Yes.
give us an overview?
It's funny that you mentioned also like grade school. There was maybe one gal that was able to play on. I think this was before elementary school, or before middle school. But there was one female on our football team. But I mean that is adolescence. There is a time where you can kind of play on equal grounds. But my mother used to play. This was like maybe 10 years ago on mixed men's and women's soccer with, other fellow Arab, Brazilian, Iranian men and women. And I definitely wouldn't want to play against my mom, but...
I got that.
So, I mean, I believe the thing is that if you're judged on those same standards of how you can play, then I think anybody should be able to play on any team, but I think there isn't one way to look at this to answer this as a right way to answer this question.
Case by case, then.
So, having another division for those that are, have both ambiguous genitalia or whatever, that they should be able to have another option.
For lack of better words, and
For
like
lack
an
of-
other class, right?
Another class of people that
other.
don't consider themselves to be the pronoun she or he. I have friends who would rather be referred to as they. So that is how you say they. I wouldn't
Awesome.
say that this is someone that wants to be considered as the pronoun she.
Okay.
So, but there's
That's a good point.
another topic I think we can get to after.
Go ahead, Waylon. Yeah. Let's hear your stance on the subject here.
Man, if she's got the balls to go for it, man, do it. For lack of better words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just being honest, being blunt.
Yeah.
But if she feels like that, she wants to do it, man. You got the heart
Yeah.
to do it.
If she
Don't
thinks
do
she
it,
can compete, pretty much, right?
I mean, I wrestled, growing up, when I was a kid, and we had little girls that wrestled. I had one that pinned me, man, one time, but I was a kid,
I've had a good punch
And
first.
I mean, she beat me, man, not because I let her pin me. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! Sure you did.
I mean, I grew up older. I grew up later,
fair and
older.
square.
You got
No,
a
you're
little
saying
different,
fair
man.
and
I let her
square.
pin me. You know what
Right,
I mean?
yeah. That's what I say, yeah. I've been pinned a couple times.
No,
Pushing
seriously
girls
though, man.
around all
If
the
she's got the
time.
heart, do it. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
I mean, say you have the
But
heart,
don't,
but
but don't
you
go
don't have the
filing
muscle mass.
lawsuits and
Yeah, right.
crying to the banker and you lawyers whenever you get hurt by a man because
Okay.
you're not a man, and that is
So you-
that is part of the.
if you want to play with the man,
That's
you
right,
gotta be
man.
prepared.
I think
right.
there were some other
I'm
facts
not
about
trying to be
it.
chauvinistic or anything.
No,
I'm just-
no.
The story specifically, though, is we're following someone who was originally born female.
Right. Well, there is
who
that.
is taking testosterone and then
Yeah, get back on
won
track,
and
bro.
also won 2 matches already in the female division. Right. So there's just some context clues I feel like we should also
Go
mention.
ahead.
in
Yeah,
there.
please.
No, just for as in a regular. So,
I mean, in the same stance,
right.
there is someone, I believe, we discussed it briefly, but if we have some commenters, I would love to hear some comments on this.
yes.
Well, there's a flip side to that too.
Yeah,
There's
the
a
flip
flip
side
side.
was
That's
that
what
there's
I'm
an
saying.
MMA fighter who is a male transferring to female, and they are fighting in the female group and destroying in their competition. So there's 2 sides to the coin, and we're just kind of, trying to see.
Well, when I used to edit for this, it was probodybuilding.com. It no longer exists, but I did used to do Lightroom editing for the photos, and there are a little weight divisions for one. And say in
Exactly,
sports, you
right.
have there's certain types of gear you're wearing, and this girl that was in elementary school was pretty big gal. She could take on a dude.
Hey, I know some tough
And
girls, man.
I mean, I
Small
played
guy.
basketball, but I was also
Hey,
still the
that's all
smallest
women.
female on our team. And I think the producer of the show, or excuse me, the director of the show, I don't know.
Producer, him, he's over here.
Yeah, he was saying
So-
how there's people are still gonna be out of your league, even in your own quote unquote gender, in your own division. You're like, that girl's really tall. She's gonna take me down.
Just the MMA fighter, the chick was undefeated for a very long time.
Yeah.
Well, isn't there, I mean, isn't there
yes,
an
Ronda
initial
Rousey.
fear
Yeah,
and
man.
all men. Like,
Every dog has a
taken
day,
down
man.
by a woman.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's why we won't let you play with us.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
it's an innate fear of a man.
They all
to
gave it up,
be
man. You know,
emasculated.
Chuck and Bill, he
Alright.
lost it. You know?
And it's a sport of mine to
It's a tough sport.
no,
Bottom
it's a
line.
sport of mine to enjoy when men are kind of put down in a way, like
Made
defeated by
uncomfortable?
women in a way. But in the end, there are things that men can do
Well,
that women can't. But there's still things that women can do.
But there
that
are
men
some
can't.
things that
But
some
again-
females can do that even men can't do. They're
Exactly.
better than men.
Wait,
Yeah,
luckily
absolutely.
we got
Camera
by
craziness for a couple
female
But when it
seconds.
comes
Just
to
let everybody
like
know.
Hey,
physical
hey guys,
ability,
one second. I'm
yeah,
sorry, we're
what's
having
going
a
on?
little bit of
What's
technical
going on?
difficulties.
That's
I don't
what
know
I'm
where the camera is right now.
The camera's going nuts.
It's going right.
Everybody that's watching,
not.
it's going all over.
It's not.
So,
I don't,
It's
is
on her-
it even
it's on
on
Idol's art.
still?
so what we're gonna
Oh,
do is we're gonna fix
Okay,
the
it's on
cameras.
somebody's artwork right now, so
Oh,
the camera's
awesome.
not going
So yeah,
nuts.
we're gonna
Alright,
fix the
check out
cameras
my
and we're gonna be
artwork.
back
Cool.
Yes.
shortly, but we'll continue
Literally,
to talk
what?
stuff decided to die.
Are we on?
What I
Are we
was
going
talking
audio
Talking
right now?
about my
Yeah,
artwork.
straight audio.
Whose art is it on?
Yes, it
You
is
know what
on the
it was?
artwork. Yeah.
Cheers.
We'll
It's
let-
on your artwork, so
we'll
talk
let
about the art.
Colleen-
Okay, so that apparently that's my artwork up there.
Oh, okay.
And so
Somebody put it on the screen.
you're not really seeing. I'm not seeing what you're seeing, but I'm assuming that I know
There
what
it
you're
is.
seeing.
Yes, that's what you're saying.
Well,
That,
Oh,
oh,
that's
hi,
right.
me.
That's
Oh,
right.
that's me being scantily clad.
That's
Yeah, it's
Vera.
Hi.
I'm sorry. Vera.
There's
Go ahead, take the
Yours.
stage. This is your
Oh,
modeling.
this is some of my modeling. I have no idea in what order any of this is gonna come at you. But oh, that's what I won, a cosplay competition in Minneapolis. So anyway, yes. Oh, we're back to the runway from this was if any of you remember Warhouse, Dandy Warhol and fun stuff like
And
that.
it will change
anyway,
again. I do apologize.
I've been wanting to do some more different types of modeling. I have a few different cosplays at the moment. Oh, here we
There's
go.
that. There's
Awesome.
Colleen stuff.
Big delay. It happened all the
Yeah.
time.
I love this.
All right.
Beautiful.
Great. That's that was Vera.
Vera, we're gonna come back and do the circle
That
and
was Vera.
introduce
This
ourselves
is,
again.
This is my art showcase. Colleen Gugan.
Cool.
I do some like shadow boxes. A lot of people like to call them. They're found object sculptures or assemblage, depending on where you come from and what you want to go for. Even crafts, sometimes people call them. But basically, what they are is a representation of how I see the world and what I feel. Images go together, and symbols go together to all combine to represent an idea or a thought process. And then I started also doing painting recently. I'm not, haven't been doing it for that long, probably about 5 years painting. So I wanted to show a representation of that because for some reason or another, I sell a lot of paintings.
Because they're great.
Through my
I
Facebook.
love your
Through
mixed
my
media
Those are
work.
for sale, correct? All the art on our show is all for sale.
All that's for sale and very affordable. And
Very expensive.
and I appreciate you taking the time to look at
How
it.
much is the piece
And
like that?
maybe we can get back to our
We're
No,
working on
I
that.
was about to
Cameras,
say, I really love your
How
mixed
much is a
media.
piece like
What I
that,
would say
Colleen?
is mixed media work. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the paintings I had brought, but they're also there's depth to it, like to the choice of your frame even.
What do you call this piece on the left of that? This hawk.
Yeah, it's like
that's
a-
called bullseye.
Interesting. A look.
We're back.
There we
All right.
People!
So,
It's on a
Oh
delay
my
to
God.
look at 20.
Yeah, you're
this
delayed.
is-
Everyone's
this is,
back.
This is Colleen. She was doing the art. Y'all saw it. And this is Vera. She was doing the modeling. She also is an artist. Big round of applause for the ladies here and their work. We're
Shout
gonna,
out for Tech Crew.
for the
Yes,
tech crew for
Tech Crew.
fixing the issue. We're back now.
Right, Tech Crew.
Alex, the Altered State Productions, and the host of the original edition of the Wine No Wine Show on tomorrow. Little pitch. That's but so we're gonna go
He's calling you
to
Wino,
we're
Joe.
gonna go over to
Cheers.
Cynthia.
Cynthia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Skull.
did I call you the wrong name? I'm
Skull.
sorry. And
Skull.
if you could tell us a little bit more about your artists, what kind of music they play.
Okay. Demise is I would call, modern singer-songwriter. His songs are super relevant about the people and things that go on around him and the stories people tell him. So he comes up with some pretty interesting songs. And I also manage a band, and they do punk, and that's Resistor.
Yes. I'm a big punk fan.
First show will be
May I
next
ask
month.
who are the members of this punk band?
Sure.
they're on Facebook.
Many
Yeah,
punk
because I can't
bands.
remember everybody's last names right now. I'm like going blank.
I don't blame you.
I
I
know.
can
I
really remember your
haven't set
name.
up the page
Your
or
first one.
anything. But I can't remember everybody's last name. Sorry.
No
Bob.
veterans
But,
of the
but
Houston
when
scene?
they were
On
resistance.
Resistor.
Resistor.
And Bob is on guitar, and Brian is our drummer,
Okay.
and Don is the singer and
Punk rock the
guitarist.
They're gonna tour and they go through Houston.
Their first show will be next month in Houston, and Demise will be going on tour all summer from June till October, all around the United States.
Do you know where their first show is yet, or not yet?
No, I'm not sure.
Talk to me later.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
got
sure
you.
where the first one's gonna be. We may
I
switch
got
it.
menus. Yeah. Awesome. I'm sure you do too. I'm just having fun. But so again, guys, we're talking about. Well, let me do my little pitch. I didn't get to do one. Come on. Like Texas Music and Art. Co-founded that with my buddy Harley Meyer. I am the artist, director, co-founder, and owner. So this is my art right above me. You see the
Nice.
spilled glass of wine. It's like you can't cry over a spilled glass of milk. The wine, no wine, can't whine over a spilled glass of wine. This is good.
Well, you can, but
Puns
you
on
can't.
canvas.
You can't. Nobody cares.
It's like hashtag feels.
But Texas Music and Art is doing things all over Houston. We have multiple open mics, including Tuesdays at Avant-Garde and Wednesdays at Lucky Dogs
Lucky
Pub. We have third Saturday Art Market, the Lake Houston Art to Farm Market. We have see here, I have an artist social coming up June 30th at the 45 Art Center. I have
45 Art Center?
the 45 Art
So
Center,
off of
brand new.
45?
45 and 610 on the south side. And then
Really?
I actually have a upcoming show at Winter Street. I'm doing a collab show with an artist from Winter Street. And you find me doing pop-ups all the time. I'm in bars all over Houston doing pop-up shows with glass boxes and lots of crazy fun. So make sure you follow me at CM Space Arts, all lowercase. So Chris Minamyer is my name. Give us a follow. But back to the subject at hand. Whew, that was let me take a breath. I've done this before, can you tell?
Take a drink, take a sip.
Thank you. But the subject at hand is, should somebody transitioning from one sex to another be able to choose which gender sport they compete in? Because that's what's going on. People, I mean, I think it was the state of Florida said no to the female competing in the male division. Now, the professional MMA says it's okay for transitioning male to female to compete in the female division. So I mean that's a big professional law.
Well, each sport's different. I mean, you give a woman a hockey stick and some ice skates, she might whoop your ass. You know what I mean? It may happen.
Thank you,
know what I mean?
Connie,
Hand-to-hand
for
combat,
tuning
that's
in.
another story.
Hey,
you know?
Connie.
I do have to hit some comments. I forgot about. Let me get some comments. So Connie Marie says this is so awesome. I appreciate it. Then we're gonna go. Actually, I'm sorry. We have commercials now. We're getting sponsors. We got one. It's really short. It's actually pretty cool. I hope you stay tuned. Less than 30 seconds. But when we come back, we're gonna address those comments and get back to the subject at hand.
Phil and Derek's Restaurant and Jazz Bar, located in the midst of bustling Midtown in Houston. You'll find a laid-back atmosphere and ambiance reminiscent of the comfort of your own living room, coupled with a flair of pizzazz and glitz from live New York-style cabaret entertainment 7 nights a week. Phil and Derek's is not only the ideal restaurant with a great, long-standing wine selection, but also with a full bar as well. Phil and Derek's stock and knowledge of wines from Napa Valley wines, French Bordeaux's, Spanish and Argentinian wines, just to name a few, are the envy of wine connoisseurs far and wide. Phil and Derek's Sunday Brunch was voted Best Morning After Brunch for 3 consecutive years. Come indulge in the ample buffet of crepes, omelets, various salads, meats, complimentary mimosas, and much, much more. Enjoy delicious foods from the kitchen until midnight. We're equipped with large dining areas, ideal for every party need, whether business or pleasure. Come see and enjoy all that Phil and Derek's has to offer.
Welcome back. That was short. Appreciate the sponsorship by the past commercial with forget the name. Phil and Darius. He's so mad at me. Phil and Darius, thank you for sponsoring us. We're always looking for new sponsors. It's a wine bar. Midtown.
Located
Right where I live.
in
I gotta go
Midtown.
say hello. But we're actually talking about transitioning from male to female and being able to play in
Should
sports.
a transgender male athletic student
She might
taking
have to take my job.
testosterone be forced to compete in the female division or allowed in the male division?
I should have read that beforehand.
This individual has already won 2 times in the female division, and once the state of Florida says nay.
Right,
But
right. Yeah,
testosterone
Texas,
drug,
Florida,
but that's a drug. It's a performance
Enhancing.
enhancement.
I don't know. You can buy it over the counter at
It is a
GNC.
performance-enhancing drug.
Can't you? No, not
No,
testosterone.
not at
You
all.
can
It's
buy
a
testosterone
hormone. It's a
boosters.
hormone. Just
See,
like
they were doing that back
there's
then. Now I know
estrogen.
why that girl beat me back then.
Just
See,
like
they were doing it back then.
progesterone,
Yeah.
like,
Fully
like
prescribed.
there's estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. These are all hormones.
We're about to
drug
get some
hormones.
comments.
So I don't know if that's considered an actual
It
enhancement
definitely is. It
drug.
definitely is. We're gonna go to some comments real quick. I think it is.
Yes.
It's by every other professional thing, it is. But Marie, Connie Marie, thank you for tuning in. She says this is so awesome. I appreciate it. I hope you'll be back next week or tomorrow for the original edition. It goes live at 5 at Fridays. We bring
She
in
is-
some great people.
That's the camera we're looking at right now?
There's our all over. I still think. I don't know.
Hey, Connie. Connie.
Ashley said,
Our production
if
crew
someone
is
is
licking
taking
themselves.
testosterone and calling themselves a transgender male, I would think the respectful way to address them would be he.
Right.
Yes,
I
and I
agree.
probably was very unpolitical at
He
one
is
point
not
in
she.
this show. The
Yeah,
wine
that's
was
why I
flowing.
mentioned.
I didn't mean anything by it.
man.
Well, that's why I mentioned that, maybe at this point, a lot of my friends consider themselves as them. And even for myself, as open as I may be on the topic, I have
But
a
even
hard
you
time
said-
saying she, he, I mean them, they,
But even you said that there should be a whole nother class of.
there should be a whole other
Yeah,
section
yeah.
for transgender or
Don't be backtracking now,
transitioning.
Vern. You need some more wine.
And
I think,
again,
girl.
we were saying that this doesn't
Get deep
always
around here.
mean that they were born one way or the other, that sometimes they could also be mixed by birth.
Right.
Oh,
And
so-
in many cultures, there are many different genders.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I
Exactly.
think in India there may be
Yes.
4 or 5.
Really?
If I'm not
Exactly.
mistaken.
Huh.
It's
I
like,
would love to. Has anybody got Google out there? Give me
at
a
least
comment.
it's like when you think about like at least 36,000 people a year have an extra chromosome.
True.
Being
Jamie,
born.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Exactly.
Isn't she like double?
And the
She
thing
has an
is,
extra
there are
one.
people
Okay.
with extra chromosomes that it's like, oh, then now you're talking about autism and certain things here and there. And so it's not always about something
Down syndrome,
physical.
right? Isn't that a
It's not always
chromosomal
something physical.
Down syndrome isn't that chromosome
Well,
based?
it's all, the
That's
thing
a
is, we're
mutation, I
talking
believe,
about,
Okay.
On
well, we're
Harley.
talking about genes and,
Right.
our
Makes
DNA
movie a whole
code. What makes something more of like a dog than a wolf, or, okay, I'm spiraling back. This is the one.
That's fine.
Someone
Hey,
else-
That's why we have the
I
show.
passed the
Bottom
torch.
line is, some
Vera
dogs are meaner
passes
than the next
torch.
dog. man.
Right.
I
You
think that's what I'm
can't,
trying to
but you
say,
can't
you know.
deny statistics.
Well, okay, but I just want to bring up that
Yes.
there's an MMA fighter
Right.
like getting in serious legal problems,
Right.
hurting
Girls,
people.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
Right.
they consider themselves female.
Yeah. Good
But,
job.
yeah.
It's so
So
hard.
they consider themselves
More
female.
man, get up there.
So,
man.
but they're out there with more strength and the
Right.
more the
Then you should go on the
stereotypical
weight
male
divisions.
body, right?
I really love that idea.
Yeah,
the weight
exactly.
division,
And it's
the
not
weight
something
division
new.
idea.
It's
But
not something
even the
new.
women's
No.
weight divisions don't go as
Because
high
it's
as the males.
perfect
though.
because it's
Right.
then you're not focusing on the gender issue whatsoever, and it doesn't really matter who is forcing. You're not forcing the issue on either representation on either genre or whatever gender.
I think it's more about fairness than
There's a hole in my lip.
than sexual orientation.
There's a hole in my
as
lip.
far as any kind
You
of
got a napkin, bro?
Right.
And so I agree.
You made me
I
look
got
that
a
way.
bandana.
I'm listening to you. I'm
I
so
would
sorry.
wipe for you,
I
but I
just
would
feel
feel it to be inappropriate.
Oh, it's okay, thank you.
Getting sloppy with that.
I know.
No whining.
It's the host. There's no whining. So what do you think about this
I
legal
just really
action?
got
Do
me
you think that
laughing.
it's okay? Should they win their legal action or should they lose it because they're hurt? Their families are just in
That's-
shambles because they
That's
got.
really a tough call. I think
It
our
is so
society
tough.
today, we really need to reconsider everything
Yeah,
about that.
absolutely.
Things are really changing.
I agree.
And
There is
even
no black and white.
And the fact that there are like I
There
think it's
never
5 or
was.
10 births out of 100 that
it's a
the gender is
fallacy.
not obvious,
Black
and
and
so
white
they're
is a
kind of made
fallacy.
one way or
Big-
the other.
it's
One
a
of
Say
the-
that one more time.
There
One at a
is
time,
5
it
to
was
10
One at a time.
births in 100 that are not male or female, and they're ambiguous. And so
Exactly.
the doctor and the parent make a decision. Well, I
Right,
mean,
that's
so
what I
many
was
times
saying.
that person grows up the wrong gender anyway because they
Yeah.
feel that they are one or the other. And of course, at birth they can't be asked, but they were made.
yeah, the doctor doesn't
opposite.
give the decision. The
Right.
parent.
There's
Problem with
technology.
Check again.
It's
I'm just
unbelievable.
loving this
Sorry,
So-
y'all, we have
You got audio?
I am definitely getting into
Okay,
the
so we didn't have audio for a long time.
Oh,
We have
right.
audio again.
We're 30 seconds.
So there's a little bit of lag.
Okay.
No, not
So just let everybody know, hey, we got the audio fixed.
We got the audio
Hi.
fixed, y'all. I appreciate y'all sticking through that.
It's amazing. 23 people are still hanging around.
Yes, 23 y'all.
23.
That's what I'm talking about.
We got the audio fixed.
All right, I love it.
juice.
But what we were talking about
We're
was
discussing.
Will we get too loud?
no, of course. We're always loud in here. Come on, this is a Why show, artist edition. I don't think they get this loud on the.
We need music, dude.
We
Let's
definitely need
let's
music.
bust out some freaking
Wait,
music.
will you
Yeah, why
will you
not?
tune
That
your
sounds
guitar
great.
and we're gonna let them guitar on you, bud?
After this freaking madness, we need
Yeah,
music.
we need some music. It's coming up now. I was gonna let them do.
Audio
their-
was gone. Now we
Where to
have it.
find
Might as well give music.
So we're Vera.
VERA ICON, Facebook, Instagram, VERA ICON, the artist, ICON.
That is Comic Con. That's cosplay,
cosplay,
art, web design.
What I'm looking to do is people who want to do rebranding, who want to actually do some like logo designs. You want band flyers. Once it gets to actually
I got work for you.
getting into like deep artistic stuff, hands-on, that'd be nice.
Let's talk about some flyer development. I got
All
3
right.
of those. Colleen, where do we
Yeah.
find you?
The best place to find me is probably on Facebook right
That's the
now.
best way to get a hold of me too. honestly.
Right now, I mean, I'm trying to develop a website. There is an old website that I have from back in the day.
That's okay.
Colleen Gugan at tripod.com, and that's a lot of my older work from the 90s and mid 90s. 2000, it's like the latest stuff on that website.
Okay.
So Colleen Gugan at tripod.com.
All right. Yeah.
And then Colleen Gugan on Facebook, and I'll be your friend.
Yeah, mine are getting thin, so come while you can.
Come on, join me.
Colleen, go ahead.
All the band information and solo artist information. I'll be posting everything on there.
Guys, look, we're gonna go to the music real quick, but our subject is the transitioning of a male to female. Female to male. Should they be able to choose or compete in the sex of gender competition?
male-
Oh my God! Should a transgender male athlete student taking testosterone be forced to compete in the female division or allowed in the male division? Thank you, man. I should have read that one again. Waylon, where we find the song?
It's not clear. It's not
Introduce
clear.
to
It's not clear.
outlawtothegrave.com.
Outlaw 2, the number.
With the number 2. Yeah, outlaw,
Outlaw 2.
outlaw, the number 2,
Two.
thegrave.com.
You know we had a good pre-show.
So this is a song me and my partner, David Allen Jones, wrote together, called it D-Doll, and he's my buddy, man. He's my partner in crime and my brother in rhyme. You know, we're still looking for 2 nickels that we can rub together and make a dime. Maybe, maybe one day that'll happen, man. But if it don't, we go back to the drawing board, you know. But this here is called "Outlaw to the Grave," man. This is kind of a telling of both of our lives, man. You know, all my life, you know, people call me outlaw, and they're going Willie and the boys, you know, and poking fun at me. I was a little kid, you know, and
They make fun of you, they don't like it.
yeah, I felt like they were making fun of me. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm an artist, so I'm sensitive too.
I got feelings too.
Right. So yeah, I really didn't I didn't grasp what that was, you know, and through my years, you know, I've learned to accept it, you know. I always get compared to my namesake, Waylon Jennings, which isn't a bad thing.
I want to hear it.
Okay. But it's called "Outlaw to the Grave." It's got a big long intro in it, but we're going to go straight into it. Really.
Got it.
Y'all check that out online, man, and have a band playing behind me, and great band. You know, got the Joe DeLeon Drummer of the Year in Seabed, Texas, is the drummer Michael Lawson.
You find that all on the website?
You found all that on
right.
the website, you bet, man.
Just a little sample.
Heard a little bit of "Outlaw to the Grave."
Yeah.
When you're running with the devil,
Every day sun goes down. Never know when an outlaw drifts around. Try to steal your soul. Anything that ain't tied down. Didn't disappear like a shadow on the ground. Some didn't learn from our wicked ways. Isn't that right? That's right. Still some change to the lives we cannot change. I can't change. They try all along. When you ride alone, it's your destiny. Being outlaw, one of a dying breed. Well, see, I'm just one minute now. Yeah, let's call me outlaw. Nobody knows my name, outlaw. I blame it on the sake of my name. Hey, outlaw. Someday, damn sure I am. I'll be an outlaw. All the way to my grave. When you're on the run, there ain't no slowing down. I'm a rolling stone, not a trace can be found. See, I guess it's true what Billy Jack Henley used to say. That's my daddy. He's looking down on us right now. See, he told me, you were born an outlaw. Son, you're gonna die that way. I left him right where his eyes rest. Yeah, call me outlaw. Nobody knows my name, outlaw. I blame it on the sake of my name. Hey, outlaw. Someday you damn sure hang. I'll be an outlaw. All the way to my grave. So we had to write a verse about the new age outlaw, right? And they out there. See, outlaw life, man, it's not a fad, ain't a gimmick, it really ain't. It's a way of life. So there's a new outlaw. He's an educated man. You don't ride no horse and shoot no gun in this new era. With a push of a button, you hand it all over again. The only time to see his face, he's wearing handcuffs. I with you, or did you? And just call him outlaw. Nobody knows his name. Call him outlaw. That's his plain thing. Hey, outlaw. Someday just might hang. Be an outlaw. All the way to your grave. When every damn day till I'm 6 foot in my grave.
That was great. No problem. That was wonderful. Thanks for coming out, man. I could have seen the message board blowing up on our end.
Likes and love.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're
man.
getting so much love. I love it.
If y'all around here, man, I'll be headed out to Nowhere Lounge.
Nowhere Lounge
Thursday
tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah, tonight. Well,
Tonight?
tonight. Yeah,
Nowhere
tonight.
Lounge. Where's Nowhere?
Actually, my buddy Jack Amherst will be out there tonight, and I'm gonna go out there and say what's up.
Yeah.
Well, birthday, man.
Is it
Maybe
open
I'll
mic?
get-
It is
maybe
your
I'll-
birthday.
yeah, maybe I'll
Someone
get a
go
beer.
out there and buy this
Wait.
man a drink.
Your birthday. What's your birthday?
My birthday's today.
Right? Today?
Today?
Happy birthday,
The
man.
choices. I would ask you
Joe.
what year, but I would rather people not ask me the same question.
So you
Oh, I'm
turned
on the same
25? That's it, 25?
25?
Yeah, that's how you are.
Try about 36 plus 10.
36 plus
46
10.
on the 26.
That ain't so bad. You got another 45, 100 in this. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Hey, man.
The wine's flowing.
Less than five to half of a penny.
I think we all drank 2 glasses during the song because we were
At
loving it. Yeah, I also want to thank our sponsors, people that feed us, the wine show or the winery in
The
Midtown.
wine. No wine. Something in
Phil and
Dirt-
Darius in
Dirt-
Midtown.
Derek.
Phil and Derek.
Phil and Derek.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you
Arigatou gozaimasu.
to also
Oh my
the
goodness.
production crew at Altered State Productions.
Yes. This
and
dude
Hofbrau
wearing the
Steakhouse. Thanks for
Zelda
feeding
hat.
Oh.
Just 2 I've seen so far. But the subject, guys, back on subject, back on task. We got about 12 minutes left. I'm excited to hear some closing statements, but we're talking about well, that's so hard. Put the thing back up for me.
I know, right? Gosh.
Thank you. I'm gonna read it. It's so much easier for me to read. Yeah, should transgender male, female to male athlete, student taking testosterone be forced to compete in the female division or allowed into the male division? Now, I believe that what they want is that they wanted to compete in the male division, but they will not let that happen, and so instead, they are dominating the female division. They're dominating.
Yeah.
In the end, transitioning. I know, you got a little straight hair.
The last guy
In the
fondled
end,
it.
transitioning, even if they want to be considered as he, because there was one of these comments on here earlier, they were like, it's he, not she, and there was like cap letters. Woo!
I
There's
messed
that
up.
thing.
I'm gonna mess up.
No, but in the end, the thing is, it's transitioning, right? Wait, taking testosterones. Well, the thing is, they're transitioning. Is the end.
But
thing.
if
It's
you
like,
take testosterone in the
that's why
male,
it should be
in
another division.
a pro sport, you
They're
take testosterone, you'll be kicked out as using
Exactly.
steroids. Like so,
Yeah,
should they be allowed to compete at all?
Like, should they? Yeah, exactly.
If you want,
That's what
if
I
you want
wanted
to
to get
transition,
into. Thank you.
if you want to transition,
That was your topic.
should they be able to compete? Do you think they should be able to compete at all?
In the end,
Or should they have their
when
own
it
class?
becomes,
Yes or no? Own class, no compete.
Why do we have to be so black and white?
I don't know.
I
What do
mean,
you
the
think?
thing
Maybe?
is,
You think we
you
should
would
take
also
it
have to
case
think
by
about
case?
people that are taking Adderall or like antidepressants. Aren't any of these?
I don't know where you're going with this, but I
These
like
are
it.
all
Performance enhancers.
performance enhancing drugs. Yeah,
no,
if you
I
can't,
would
if you
disagree with
can't,
that.
if you can't take Adderall or Vyvanse or smoke marijuana,
But I
aren't
mean,
all of these? Hey, get your mind in the game. Isn't that what they say in sports?
I see where you're getting there. I see you're getting at. Like I'm prescribed Adderall.
So
I'm not gonna lie to you. I take Adderall daily.
I think
But I
Vyvanse is greater.
cannot function as a human being without it. So.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
They can't either.
That's very interesting.
Maybe that's
Because
why
I used to take
I think you can talk
Because
about
maybe
antidepressants.
somebody that's transitioning
Right.
from female to male can't really make
They
they can't discern whether they're male or female, except for that they're drawn to one male. The
if
male.
they're
They have
I
a
think
male
there's some
dominated.
transitioning
the
people that would
thing.
love to dispute that.
That
Well,
even
one at a time,
within
one at a
that,
time, guys.
There's
One at a
just
time.
so many
One at a time.
different.
I didn't really.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that.
Wait, let her finish real quick. Let her finish. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Colleen.
Well, what I'm saying,
I'm gonna
what
get
I
some
was
wine.
trying to
You
say,
carry on.
I guess, is that sometimes we can't really decide. It just happens.
Right.
We are what we are, ultimately, and so if we are what we are ultimately, if you are a female and you feel like you need to be a male, or if you're a male physically, or if you're a female and you're male and you're drawn to become a female, there's reasons for that.
But should they be allowed in professional
within the soul
and
within the
in
you know,
sports
within
with
the
your kids
body.
playing in them? Would you want,
And I
if you
would
had a
say
daughter,
that they were, I would say that
would you
they
had a
were
daughter playing in a
obviously
sport?
the definite rebel,
They're the rebel.
right?
I could argue
the
that
thing is,
because
what
they
people
were.
argue about this is who you have sex with. That's the problem that people
Why
have
is
an
everybody
issue
so
with.
concerned about
Right,
who
and
we're
it's
having
not
sex
about
with?
that.
We're talking about sports.
Right, but I'm
All right,
saying.
no, honestly, look,
No,
real quick.
we're again here.
What I'm saying.
That's the
But
thing.
th-
Is in
here's
the back
the
of
reason-
people's mind. That's
One
what they're
second.
thinking
Go
about
ahead.
where
One
you
second.
can or can't compete.
Right.
Right, and what's between your ears and what's between your legs are two different things. And if you're
Right,
asexual,
but we're not
or
talking about
sexual
that.
are
We're
two
talking
different-
about if you should be able to play in sports. So
I
what I'm
know,
saying
but that's
is,
what
if you
people
had a
in the back of
daughter,
their mind want to
one
think.
second. If
Like,
if you
why
had a
not?
daughter, right, that was playing sports and a transitioning male to female started playing that sport and hurting the girls in their
What
league.
if she was hurting the
Right.
boys? That's where the problem becomes an issue, because
Well, that's why they
men
raise a fuss
cannot-
about it, man. Because the boys are getting beat up by the girls.
boys
you
don't
know?
want to
They-
get beat up by the
right,
girls.
you
I
know?
mean, it's like
I
playground.
disagree. I think that
sandbox
the female
technology.
body is not as big as a male, and we're gonna dominate you in a physical sport. On the majority, I'm gonna say the majority. I mean, 80-20 rule. Like so, I mean, if my daughter was wrestling, and a male transitioning to female was in the sport, and they were in the female category, and they were hurting my daughter's friends, and my
Right.
daughter was up next.
Right.
I would have an issue. I might pull my daughter. I'm sure most people in that situation would,
Right.
and there wouldn't be a sports team. So that person being able to play ruined the sports team for that whole year.
Right.
For 100 kids playing.
Okay, I'm about to take.
I
it
mean,
to something
we're giving
that's a
one person
I
the
totally
power to
agree.
destroy a whole program.
I totally
And
agree.
this is capitalist.
I totally
I'm
agree.
I'm on board with that.
But what about statistics? Statistics, even over from one country to another, may have an upper hand physically. I may not be talking about their penis size, but I might be.
I think that okay.
Because there's statistics. I'm just saying. Say like someone's bad at driving. Someone's better at swimming.
So red right
Someone's
now.
listen. I know. I'm not trying.
We're gonna go to
thing.
closing topics because we're 5 minutes
No,
out.
listen.
So go ahead and close up your thought, and then we're gonna go to some more closing
The point
thoughts.
is, well,
Go ahead, close it out.
Close
You're
it
good.
out.
No, let's speak.
Spit it out, man.
Bring it
Come
together.
on now.
no,
friend.
now
Come on,
it's
man.
gone. Now it's gone.
I'm on the page with you. Come
There
on.
was- there
Spit it
was-
out.
The point
I
is,
got you
you
back.
can't deny statistics and percentages for certain things yearly.
You can't deny that statistics can be tampered
This
with.
wine
too.
I
tastes
have
wonderful.
no idea. At
Statistically,
this
this
point,
wine
because
is
you totally,
great.
now I sound like crazy.
No, you're doing good.
Hey,
We're trying to follow you through. Come on. We got
No,
you.
it's gone. It's gone.
All right, Waylon.
You
Final words. What do you think?
Final words,
Yes.
let them rip, man. Let me get out there and see you can whoop the boys. I can whoop the boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Bring them all
Right,
together, you
then
said.
do
Bring them
it.
all together, put them in a weight
And
class.
if they can't whoop the boys.
Yeah, right. Bring everyone together. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how about like Naruto?
We're
If
just gonna-
it doesn't matter if you're female or male. If you can whip someone's booty.
You know, I'm just glad, getting beat by a girl when I was a kid has no effect on me as an adult. You know what I mean? I mean, it didn't, like, scar
Girls are
me.
genuinely bigger.
But
Sure,
times were different back
Sure it
then.
didn't, mister.
Times were different back then. We didn't get around the round table and discuss these kind of things.
Of course not.
Right? We didn't.
You did.
But
It was just
as
over
a
a
female,
joint.
Well,
Remember?
I
yeah.
definitely was told not to
Oh
do
man, I
things
said it on
because.
PG-13. Sorry.
Well, I mean, now, man,
Now I remember what you were talking about.
Wait, I gotta.
Yeah, you're gonna
I gotta
do
go to. I
closing
gotta go. Yeah, I
comments.
gotta go to closing comments this way, and then we'll have our cheers moment, and we're gonna take our final picture. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for keeping this in your through the technical difficulties we had, keeping the viewers high. We didn't have like one person drop due to technical.
I bet there was a few viewers that were high. I'm just gonna say that and get it out there.
Stone.
There may have been a few hosts. I mean,
Maybe stoned. Let's not say high, because that's a different terminology.
That
Cody,
is.
closing
That is. Good
thoughts.
point.
It
Closing thoughts.
is,
My
man.
closing
point.
thoughts are basically, I think that if gender is an issue, then you really are closing the door on a lot of possibility. And I think you should allow people to maybe compete in like a weight division versus a gender division, and then you open up the barriers and allow people to compete on a more natural level.
Hey,
I like that. I like
that's
that.
awesome.
I agree with Colleen. I think it shouldn't be based on gender at all. I think
Right.
perhaps size
Exactly.
and ability. And we've progressed to have a male and female team in just about everything, so why not just make it be based
Wide
on
open.
size and ability?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a lot
I
of
think
better
I
sportsmanship
think you're right,
that
but
way.
I'm gonna leave everybody with this little cameo that some sports like football, there are positions you play for being certain sizes. So now you can place females in those sizes, but do you think that they're going to get those spots?
They're going to
over-
run that ball goddamn down.
Eventually,
No.
perhaps.
Okay, just
Eventually.
something
Look
to
at-
think
look at some
about.
of the
I think you're right.
basketball
I think
players.
you're right. I think
Until we break
I think we're gonna break
capable,
barriers,
large,
and I love it.
strong women
I'm totally
basketball
about
players.
it.
Why not?
Hey, can I give a shout out to all my outlaw buddies, man, out
Do
there,
it.
man?
Give me a shout
What's
out.
up, outlaws?
No, you can't.
Ain't nobody on there, are they?
Oh, they're on there still, hopefully. Everybody
15
gave you some
people.
love, man. That was great. Again, guys, I am Chris Minamyer. I am the art director for Texas Music and Art, your host today. That is my art. You find me at CM Space Art. Multiple shows around town. Make sure you follow us and the Wine No Wine Show. The original edition goes live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Be sure to tune in for that. That is always a great discussion, a little bit more in-depth on the current event side. They're a little more savvy, a little less opinions, a lot more facts getting thrown around. So if that's your thing, go ahead and go over there. But we're about to close out. You got a tune you want to play us out on, dude? You said you had two.
Yeah, I got more than that, but
Yeah, I know you had at least one or two.
Cheers.
Is that all right? Is that all right?
Yeah, man.
Cheers.
We'll play this,
Let's get into the
play
Okay,
this
we
one.
gotta be quick though. No intros. No long intros.
I
Yeah,
just
just rock it
out.
We
It's
got
like
no
rodeo
minutes.
buddies, man. It's about outlaw bull riders and bullfighters.
Rock it out.
Yeah. Some men make a living driving nice cars around